Good morning, my loves. Happy Thursday. It is, you can't tell, it's still dark out, of course. It's about 4:30 in the morning here at the lake. And I got a note yesterday on LinkedIn, and it was a very good question. The other day, I did a video about when relationships end. And the person reached out and he said, I need closure. What about closure? That's a good point. So we're going to talk about closure today. The easiest way for me to explain this is sometimes you're not going to get the closure you want. You're not going to get the closure you feel you deserve. Sorry, you might hear the ducks at the lake. They're waking up. But you have to give yourself the closure that you want. So I'll give you a few examples. I've lost a lot of people. A lot of people have died throughout my years. And you don't always have the opportunity to tell them goodbye. And that's devastating. And I was there when my parents passed, and I got to tell them goodbye. I was there when my daughter passed, and I got to tell her goodbye. That was traumatic. That was hard. I was 19 years old. I was just a baby when she died. That was awful. But I did get to tell her goodbye. Some of my friends that have passed through the years, I didn't. So what you can do, if it's someone that has passed, I want you you can visit their grave. Of course you can. That's great. But you can also just sit down. You can talk to them. You can just think about them. You can pray for them. Reminisce. Plant flowers in your garden and honor them. Whatever brings peace to your soul. But please talk to them. The human body, it shuts down. It wears out. It turns off. However, the soul is energy. And the soul will live on forever. Forever and ever and ever, the soul lives on. So when your loved one dies, including pets, including our fur babies, it is so traumatic when we lose something or someone we love so much. It's okay, because their body is no longer with us. That's okay. Their body may have been in pain. They may have been sick. Whatever. But their soul lives on. They can come visit. Absolutely, and they do. You start thinking about somebody you've lost. You're talking to them, telling them how much you love them, how much you miss them. Maybe you see a butterfly. Maybe you see their favorite bird. Maybe that favorite song comes on the radio. That happens to me a lot on my way to work. And I just know. I know who sent that song. I know. And I'll say, hey, good morning, I miss you. It's okay. They hear you. That's how you can get closure. They will hear you say goodbye. And they know you love them. Now, relationships that end suddenly. I've had several people of late who their marriages are ending, their relationships are ending, and honey, they are just devastated. I think we've all been dumped in our day, and you don't always get the closure you want. You don't get the closure you deserve. And you're just left with this hole, and you don't know what to do with it. And it's awkward, and, you can be angry and frustrated. Never be vindictive. Never be vindictive. That's not going to get you anywhere. But what I want you to do is what I have always called a relationship autopsy. I want you to sit down and think about, and I want you to be honest. I know, be honest about it. About your part in the relationship. Did you give 110% every day? Did you do your best? Were you your authentic self, and you did your best in the relationship? And you're not always at fault. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not, but you're not always at fault. So don't assume that it's your fault just because they say it is. But be honest with yourself. Look at the relationship. And then ask yourself, what has this taught me? What is the life lesson this taught me? That is where you will find the closure. When you ask yourself, what is the life lesson this has taught me? You will find closure. Were you needy? Were you insecure? Did you just give too much of yourself? Ask yourself the hard questions, the honest questions, and you will find closure. And remember, life lessons are to be learned, and they're generally painful. They're not fun, but learn the life lesson and don't repeat it. Because if you don't learn the life lesson, I promise you will repeat it until you do learn it. So do the little relationship autopsy. What did this teach me? Because you don't want to go through it again. Learn the life lesson and move forward. That's how you find closure. And don't blame yourself. A lot of times people, when they leave us, they will project their anger and frustrations onto us. When people project emotions, feelings, moods, attitudes, their hate, it's no different than them taking their garbage and dumping it on you. It's their garbage that they're dumping on you. It's not yours. It has nothing to do with you. It's them. They can keep their garbage. It's theirs. It's not yours. But be honest. Do the relationship autopsy. Think about it. Learn the life lesson. Be accountable for your part in that relationship. Be totally honest with yourself. It's not going to be fun. But learn the life lesson. Get the closure. Move forward and be happy because you're worthy.